All right, back with you here, back at home. Kind of been drawing out this map to explain to you what I'm thinking. Um, and I may have put the buckets on the other side of Big Feller's area. This all kind of came to me this morning as I was driving up. So, right here, this right here would be the street that I park on. This would be tennis courts right here that I have to pass. So this is the street right here, and it hooks left just past the tennis courts, and right here is the chain link fence, a gate leading into the trail. So then I go up the hill and it levels out, and I go down here, and the original trail wraps around this way right here, but I always take this would be the white sand trail right here. That dumps out right here, joins up with the main road at that fence where I found the footprint right here recently, right here, where the people's dog was growling and snapping and jumping on me. And that is also where I found that medical glove and the medical tape wrapped around a rock. Found that very odd. But there's a little game trail that comes down right here. Goes down a little hill, comes along the fence, and then dumps out where I go. So once we get past all that, we go past all that trail and stuff right here. This would be what I call the crossroads. Okay, there's a single track trail that goes up a hill right here and comes back down. That is the top of the hill where I could see all the people up there. There's also another trail that goes up right here. So the main road wraps around right here. Right here it starts going downhill, and this right here is Fletch's area. So when you see me taking down that trail, I'm making that left down that hill, and I come in right here, and this is where Foxtail Field is and everything. Now from here to here is probably only anywhere from 60 to 80 feet, okay, to the bush line, very close. And this is where I'd put Fletch's bucket with goodies. Okay, so directly next door is Mercy. Well, you've all seen Mercy's area. You know, once I leave Fletch's, I walk back out the same way I came. I walk back around. And Mercy's area I've created that trail into Mercy's right here. You've all seen Mercy's bucket. Well, with all the people and dogs I've been having problems with, I decided to go a little further down the trail and closer to the truck and move the buckets. So since I had found that footprint here, I found the medical glove and tape wrapped around a rock right here. This is the white sand trail. Okay, so I take the white sand trail and I go down like this. Then I hook a left. Once I get down to the flat area, I go to the first clearing. I go through to the second clearing, and then down here is through those tall weeds where the buckets are. the new area where I put the buckets. Well, I guess the sun was just right today. Um, I could see through a lot of the trees and everything down into that valley. And what I saw was absolutely huge. Absolutely huge. It was a hut looking structure. It definitely was not a bush. Um, Absolutely was not a bush. Um, it was more in the shape of a dome made from sticks and twigs. And I kid you not, the base of it must have been 25 feet across. So I am not going to go down there. But that is where I saw that big, dark mass last weekend. Um, Definitely think that this is Fletch's spot right here at the crossroads. And right across is those bushes where Fletch growled at me, ran back this way, stood up, and was watching me. And right in here was the bushes that big feller was watching Fletch growl at me from. And he was watching all that come down, so I was just coming down and came around a bush, got growled at, got my phone out, started recording. Little did I know that big feller was right here. So it's all in a nice line, nice neat line. It's very interesting, very, very interesting. But this is definitely their hillside for sure. Definitely their hillside. So I think what I did was when I removed Fletch's and Mercy's bucket and I moved it deeper down into the valley, more away from people, well, I accidentally put it on the other side of Big Feller's area. Now, there's been several times I've been at Mercy's. Now, this is a big valley, deep valley. You've seen it. You've all seen it. It's a big, deep valley, very steep. It would be very hard for me to traverse. While I was at Mercy's, I could hear stuff. I mean, branch breaking. Something was building something down there. And I think what it was, now it all kind of clicked this morning. Big feller was building that hut, that big giant hut. Like I said, it ain't a bush. It's got horizontal branches in it and stuff. It's not normal. It's perfectly round and domed. I'm assuming that the entrance is probably off this way towards Mercy's. So I think that's what I did without even knowing it, is I put the buckets on the opposite end of Big Feller's area. So now Fletch and Mercy have to go through his area to get to the buckets. And if you all remember back in the day when they first started taking the stuff, I explained this a little bit in the video earlier. Big feller is the big feller. He's named that for a reason. He's absolutely massive. And like I said, from the looks of his face, he's been through a lot. And I don't doubt that he does harbor some resentment or reserve for interacting with humans. Um, And it makes perfect sense because of the stunt he pulled when Fletch and Mercy got to the buckets first and cleaned them out. Oh, he got there late. There was nothing left. Empty bags on the ground. And he peed in one of the bags. That's also still on my channel. It's still there. I mean, you could see that bag when I find it. It smelled absolutely horrible. So, he definitely has I don't know what to call it, but there's definitely some sort of attitude going on with Big Feller, and I can't really place it. I mean, maybe he was shot at, maybe he got shot. I don't know. You know, um, who knows? Who knows what that is? Um, so I think that's what's going on here. So Fletch and Mercy have to travel through Big Feller's area to get to the buckets. Big Butthead is keeping Mercy and Fletch from getting to the buckets. Um, sorry, I'm just thinking. I'm just constantly thinking about this situation and how to rectify it, I guess, so to speak. So what I'm thinking, let me know in the comments what you all think about this theory. Because everything was great when I was putting stuff here and here as in the way of interacting with them. I'd whistle. Fletch would come walking up to the bush line. You can hear him walking around. Mercy, she's under the thumb of Big Feller, and she's got to be very careful. Otherwise, Butthead here will step in and say, no more. Period. Point blank at the end. No more. So, I understand where Big Feller's coming from. He's just trying to protect Mercy and Fletch. Again, goes back to that whole harboring resentment for humans thing, and that's something I can't get rid of. I can't not be a human. So, I am what I am, and I just need to prove to him that I'm not normal human. So, I'm thinking of taking the buckets down here from where I just put them, traveling way down over here somewhere. Maybe go down this trail a little bit, find a good spot, and put them here. Or maybe over here, because, put them somewhere over in here. I did a little bit of exploring last weekend of the area, and I do know that they go that way because further off that way is the cave, and I do know they do go that far. So, they followed me and Lewis to the cave. So, let me know in the comments below what y'all think about my theory, about the mapping. This is definitely their areas, and Mr. Pissy here, I wouldn't say he's a problem, but Mr. Pissy here is definitely keeping Fletch and Mercy from it. So I think if we go the other way, more that way, they'll be able to get to the buckets and everything with a lot less interference from Big Butt Head. So let me know in the comments what y'all think about that. We'll have to do some exploring and scouting over in these areas. Maybe I'll walk down that trail at the crossroads. We'll go down the hill like I'm going to Fletch's, and see what we can find. Right about here is where I had found that looked like a structure, and I believe it was RM Steels that said you need to go back and look at that again because that's not natural. And he was absolutely right. It was just a bunch of crisscrossed limbs over some natural limbs, and it looked like a roof. Upon second look, it definitely did not look natural. And that is also where I heard something busting through the bushes at me. Well, not at me, but running at a very high, moving at a high rate of speed towards me. And I think I got a glimpse of it. I don't know if that's what it was, but there seems to be some type of black canine in the area. So I don't know, maybe we'll go up into here where I was exploring last weekend. There's plenty of trails and stuff, plenty of places we can go, and it would definitely be the opposite direction of Big Butt Head. So that's what I'm thinking is going on. And let me know in the comments what you think. So hope that all I know it all kind of helps me out. It makes sense to me. So hope this all makes sense to all of you. And yeah, we may be moving again, people. So again, thank you for all your support, wonderful comments, and we'll see you next weekend. Happy hunting. So, this old can I found is steel. It's a steel body, aluminum top. I got a magnet here. Nothing. Steel body, aluminum top. Apparently these were manufactured between 1962 and 1965. Were predominantly used for beer only because the acids in the soda would eat the steel body. So, pretty cool. You can see how it has a seam down the side. And I believe that is what is called a dovetail seam. And it would have been pressed together and probably soldered. So the can would have been formed, soldered down the seam, the top would have been set on it, and machine would have, or a machine or a person would have rolled the edge together to pinch it closed, and off it went. So, old beer can from the 60s, pretty cool. Don't know where it came from, but I walked up that area that trail last week, and it wasn't there, so don't know. Alright, just thought I'd share that with you. See ya.